pulls out 157 purported ponies, which proves to be enough to whip up 164 miles per hour on the 959's monochrome LCD gauges when hammering down the front straight of this Spanish circuit. The 959 is the offshoot of the 899, which isn't yet even old enough to enter preschool. The 899 was introduced as an all-new model just 2 years ago. Meanwhile, consider most 600cc Japanese sport bikes haven't been updated since the 2000s. A 3.6mm stroke extension to 60.8mm, the same as the 1199 Panigale, brings up capacity to 955cc. You'll notice that's 4cc less than the name indicates, which follows the latest trend of Ducati nomenclature for model name to end in a numeral 9 regardless of actual displacement. The 899's actual engine size is 898cc. New secondary showerhead injectors are employed to help boost top-end power by 6%. Toward production is flexed by 8%, now up to 79.2 pounds to foot. The 959 gets several handy hand-me-downs from its 1299 brother, including its revised fairing, slightly taller windscreen and updated tail section. It also receives the 1299's clutch and its slipper function, but with lighter springs. A slipper clutch might seem superfluous with Ducati's adjustable engine brake control electronics, but, according to Paul Ventura, marketing product manager, the market had specifically asked for one. The 1299 also donates its larger, 60mm, pedal pipes and 4mm lower swing arm pivot, the latter which results in better traction out of corners on a wheelbase 5mm longer. What you won't see are the 1299 single-sided slinger, Brembo M50 calipers or fancy TFT color instrumentation. The 899's double-sided aluminum is new for 2016 to accommodate the Euro-spec mufflers, while Brembo's N432 monoblock calipers and 10mm smaller rotors save a few lira over the 1299 Stellar M50S. More details of millimeters in the transition from 899 to 959 can be found in this preview article, which allows me to delve quicker into the little Gale's riding impressions. Spaniard Jorge Lorenzo took victory in the MotoGP race just a few weeks before I arrived in Valencia, earning himself the World Championship in a controversy-filled season finale. And what a workout it must be to hammer for 30 laps aboard a 250-horsepower motocicleta at this diminutive Spanish bullring. Riding Ducati's 959 was enough of a workout for little old me. Ducati says the 959's dry weight is up 12 pounds over the 899, which we scaled at 437 pounds full of fuel when we compared it to a GSX R750 and MV Agusta F3 800. And, of what is criticizable about the 959, its weight is one of just a few. Its class competitors are more than 10 pounds lighter. The 959's handling is better described as deliberate and quick. A non-adjustable steering damper is at least partly to blame for its moderate sluggishness, a condition a rider can feel even at rest. On the flip side, the 959 boasts unflappable stability, allowing its pilot to rail through high-speed corners with confidence. The rail continues to, and through, the apex, even under full power. Speaking of power, there is plenty. Crucially, mid-range run is more abundant than in its predecessor, the 899, which was so peaky as to be un-V-twin-like. The 959's power band fills in many of the Earth's holes, re-engaging the toward-which power spread that have earned Ducati engines their lovable reputation over the decades. The 899's engine built obscenely flaccid for a V-twin below 8,000 revolutions per minute, and while the 959 still likes to run for its bread line, 10,500 revolutions per minute, its mid-range has been invigorated. Ducati says the 959's torque-to-weight ratio is up 4%, enabling some fun second-gear clutch wheelies at the track. Electronic rider aids make up a big part of the 959's riding experience. They're plentiful and excellent. Ride modes of Whatt, Sport and Race are programmed with appropriate traction control, DTC, ABS and engine brake control, EBC, to suit the intended views. Each can be customized to suit rider preferences. We started the day in Sport mode, which offers smooth throttle application and, in its default settings, a lower threshold before ABS and traction control interventions. They didn't intrude much until the pace picked up to A-group track day levels, when ABS kicked over the braking bump centering turn 1. DTC intervention wasn't overtly intrusive in its 5th of 8 levels. Switching to race mode made the electronic aids almost invisible. ABS is still in play, but its threshold is much higher, and rear lift mitigation is turned off. Meanwhile, DTC3 allows some rear drifting before softly reining it back. Throttle response in race mode is sharper but not too abrupt. Exiting Valencia's last corner is a good place to begin describing how the electronics work in a rider's favor.